Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for the background noise. Air conditioning is on again today as the weather is warmed up again here in Toronto. What I want to talk about today, and this is inspired by Fran of Fran's Lab posting about fountain pens today, is I thought, well, let me just talk about currently inked fountain pens because it's not something I've talked about a lot on this channel, but I did want to talk about this one because it's new. And, well, might as well talk about all of them. So let's first talk about the pens that are almost always inked, which aren't those two. We'll start with the smallest. This is a Kaweco Sport. This is a pocket fountain pen. This is, I think, fine, which is not terribly fine. And this is currently inked in, I have Kaweco's, this is their current converter for these small pens, the piston converter. This is a bit of a fiddly thing, but it works okay. And it lets you put whatever you want in it. We have a little scribble along of the Kaweco there. And this is a great pocket pen. I usually carry it around with something like a Rhodia notebook like that. It's a convenient pocket size carry for people who like fountain pens. This is of course all scratched up. I've had a couple of these. I lost one when my daughter was born, but this is the replacement that I've had ever since. This is currently inked with Konpeki, which is a very bright blue. This is, people either like this or hate it. It's very saturated and it gets all over your fingers. You do have to watch out with these bottles that you can over tighten the cap and have the lids crack on you, which has happened on that one. But it's kept upright in a drawer most of the time, so that's not really an issue. So that's Kaweco. The other pen that I almost always keep inked is this Platinum here. This is the most expensive pen. These are, I think they're up above a couple $100 now. See, look, I've already got ink from the Konpeki bottle on mine. This is a German pen. This is a Japanese pen. Platinum. And we can come around here to a 3776, which is supposed to be the height of Mount Fuji. This is a standard platinum. It's a cigar-shaped pen. It, like the Kaweco, has a nib that's very hard. That is, if you push down on it like this, it doesn't flex very much. It flexes a little bit, but it's still, like, people talk about this as nail hard. This is inked with my favorite color to keep in a pen, which you'll see, which is blue, black of one sort or another. And this is a great pen. It doesn't dry out. The Platinums generally don't dry out, which is one of the reasons I like about them. Things I like about them. This sat around most of the summer, and I didn't use it because I put it in a case and kind of forgot about it, even though it was on my desk. And yeah, it's a very traditional style. This is inked with cartridges at the moment, although I do have a converter for it. And boringly, this is just Platinum's standard blue-black cartridges in it. I used to carry this one around a lot. I mean, I can't really worry about a couple $100 pen. It's probably what it would cost to replace it now, but you can't really worry about it when you carry a cell phone that's worth over $1,000 with you. It's just like, you just use the stupid thing. But I mostly haven't lately for whatever reason, and this has become my usual desk pen. Well, it's great. Totally recommended. The other Platinum I have going on is a Platinum Plaisir. This one's a little bit knocked up. I mean, sorry, not a Platinum Plaisir. This is an aluminum version. It has the same sort of nib unit that most of the low-end Platinum pens have, and you can get them in different sizes. This is, I think, 0.03. And this one has an adapter in it. This can be had for just like a couple of dollars. You have to have a pen store that carries stuff like that. But this is an adapter that lets you use standard international cartridges. And I think you can put a long one in here, although I haven't. It lets you use standard international cartridges as opposed to Platinum's own cartridges. And that gives you a lot of potential ink choice. And I don't have blue black in this. This has actually Kaweco blue, which would make more sense to put in this pen, but I haven't. And in it right now, that's a nice saturated blue. And this ink works well with lots of pens. So, and I bought a whole bunch of cartridges back at one point, so working through them. So this has been like, these three have been inked for ages. These don't dry out. The Kaweco is pretty good too, but because it tends to get carried around in the pocket, it gets mixed up, and that little converter doesn't hold very much ink, so you tend to fill it fairly often, so it doesn't tend to be a problem. A pen that's more of a problem is this is a Pilot Vanishing Point. Now this is a clicky fountain pen, right? So the nib emerges when you press the button, and it's got a little spring-loaded door that seals it. This does not seal as well. If you don't use this for a month, it will be hard to start for you. This currently, so this is a Pilot Vanishing Point. There are a couple of different styles of clicky pens that Pilot makes, but in North America, the Vanishing Point is the most common one. This has a medium nib, which is very much a European medium from Pilot in these sizes. This has a little bit of, it's not a flexible nib, but it feels a bit bouncy when you write. And this is a gold nib, like the Platinum. So that, and it's a teeny tiny gold nib. Vanishing Points used to be obtainable for about $140 Canadian, but prices have gone up. Which brings me to this. And this is a Chinese pen. Oh, I should say what ink is in this. This is, I inked this mainly as a comparison for this one. I haven't used a Vanishing Point regularly for a while. I've gone to a lot of note-taking on the iPad with a stylus, so I haven't, these clicky pens haven't been in ones that I've used quite as much. So, but I wanted something to compare to this with. And so this has Sailor, this is the old bottle, but this is Tokigawa Matsu. This is essentially deep pine. It's almost like a green blue-black, like the equivalent of a blue-black and green. I really like this. And it's good for doodling little trees. Like that. For whatever purpose one might do. But I really like that ink. It's not really an everyday one, but it's fun to have around. And you know, these are so nice and quick, right? Because you can open it like a big pen. Now this has a brass, I think, body with kind of enamel coating on them. I've got another one in a black textured finish. But this was the first gold nib fountain pen I bought, and I really like this. Although I'm not actually sure that the nib unit is the same in this as what I originally bought it with, because I've been swapped around a bit. Okay, which brings me to what the real object of today's discussion is this. And this is a Sailor. Let me just click on my screen so I get the model number right. What's it? Sorry, Sailor. Definitely not a Sailor. It's a Jinhao. 20 is the model number. This is sold under a couple of brand names that are probably all owned by Jinhao. And as you see, it's starting a little hard. 20. And there we go. That's going now. This is in extra fine, and this is a steel nib, and you'll notice it's a rip-off of Pilot's lower line, which is, I can't remember what it's called, but they do make a thinner version of this, and that's what this is, right? And this, unlike the Pilot nib, this is hard as a nail, it's steel, and this is a $10 pen, right? Chip via AliExpress from China. Now, I have mixed feelings about pens that are rip-offs, and this is like, I'll show you how much of a rip-off this is. So here's the nib unit inside it, right? So there's a converter, which appears to be the same size and shape as a Pilot converter. The Pilot converter that's used in these is not very well liked. It doesn't hold all that much ink, but I've never found that to be a huge problem. So there's the Pilot version, and you can see the converter's different. Actually, the Jinhao ripoff is a little better because you can see the ink a little more. And they're actually interchangeable, so we could take the Pilot one and put it in the Jinhao. And it works, right? So, I mean, you can't really argue that it's not a copy of the Pilot when the parts are interchangeable. So, I don't know. I've always got mixed feelings about that, but I imagine the patents are all up on this stuff and have been for a long time. So, I don't know how much I get worried about the design stuff. I think if you want a vanishing point, you should buy the real thing. But why did I order this? Well, this is $10, and this is, list over 200, right? This is one you can leave in the office and not care about. And the other advantage it has is this is all plastic construction, right? If you look at it, I don't know if the light's good enough for you to see. This is all plastic construction. It's got a metal ferrule where the two come together. It's extremely light, and this is not heavy, but on the heavy side if you're used to plastic, resin pens, and that sort of kind of thing, which I mostly prefer. I think we all go through a time with pens that we like them heavy, and then often revert back to preferring lighter things. So, I don't know. I always have, as I said, mixed feelings about something that's so obviously a copy. But the really interesting thing is if you like the lighter weight, you can put the real nib unit in the copy, right? And then you've got a really quite nice thing, right? Which lets you have the proper Pilot nib in a lighter carrying form factor, whatever one wants to call it. So, I don't know. As I said, always a bit mixed feelings about these things that are such obvious copies, and this is, these are, it so very much is a copy. The ink in this is, well, look at the bottle. It's right over here is Perle Noir from Jinhao, which is a just about the best behaved ink you can imagine. I don't really deal with inks that are not well behaved, but I don't. Life's too short to fight with that. And boring colors: blue, black, black. This like green black that I have in here, right? It's not super interesting. I guess the Konpeki is the only one that's really got anything going on, but that's just the way I am. So this is what I've got inked today. I happily recommend any of these pens. They're all good. you know, and I have, many others which sometimes get pulled out and will get used for a while. If you're following up a little bit on Fran from Fran Lab's video that drove this whole thing today, the platinum seal extremely well. These do not, but if you're using it regularly, that won't be an issue. But these seal very well. The other pens I've had fairly good luck on with seals are diplomats, which also seem to seal quite well, at least the ones that I've had. So that might be something. Again, not in the I've been in the fairly expensive range in those. So steel nib, but they're still over $100. But they seal really quite well, and that's another pen that you can kind of leave on your desk and forget about for a while and still have it work. Anyhow, bit of a rambling discussion today about fountain pens, but they're fun. I like them. If you do too, hopefully this was of some interest. Thanks for watching.